Welcome to our YouTube video series on business and incorporation law for medical and dental practitioners. My name's Christopher Neufeld of Neufeld Legal. And in this particular video, we're going to be discussing the significance of moving beyond the professional corporation. Now, when I talk about moving beyond the professional corporation, we're talking about having additional corporate structures and additional planning undertaken that moves and includes the professional corporation. Now, we say this because professional corporations do have limitations and they do have exposures with respect to legal liability, which have been created in part by recent federal tax laws coming into force. So what are we looking at? Well, we're trying to get the most effective model in place that can support your business structure. And one of the challenges with this is that you cannot rely upon standard corporate practices when doing structuring for a medical or dental practice. Instead, you have to be looking to more unique and specific structuring given the rules that your medical society or dental society of the province imposes and even has implemented in your own corporate documentation. That's how you got approval for professional corporation, so you have to abide by it. Now, part of the issue that we're seeing is that a lot of the societies didn't really scrutinize so much what was happening with respect to professional corporations. But with the onset of the new rules for income splitting by the federal government and to be imposed upon professional corporations by Revenue Canada, your professional corporation is going to have a lot more scrutiny and potentially more legal liability. And you want to be careful ever so much more about being compliant and actually taking maximum advantage of the opportunities available to yourself. Because there are opportunities available that you should be looking at and implementing appropriately. Now, first of all, tax deferral. Part of the idea is that the corporate structure has a lower tax rate. And because it has a lower tax rate, you want to take advantage of it as much as possible. However, technically, a professional corporation is not capable of operating a business outside the profession. So your medical or dental professional corporation is limited in what it might undertake, including the investments it might hold and the real estate that it might own. And it really has to be limited to stuff that supports the medical or dental business that's going on. And it's very much fine-tuned to the specific provinces, regulations, laws, and medical or dental societies requirements. And you can't really move beyond that. So what you're needing to do, because your professional corporation oftentimes cannot have a corporation holding shares, you need to have a structure with an affiliated or sister corporation that you own, but money comes and flows between those two in a way that's properly structured to be legal and tax efficient. And by doing so, you're not going to be taking money out of the company, subjecting it to the increased tax that comes when it is attained at a personal level and then be pushed back in. Instead, you only have the corporate tax rate being paid and having a greater amount of money with which to invest or to buy real estate or to other things of a business nature. And this is particularly important. Now, there's a new aspect that is also of great consequence, and that is the federal government's imposition of tax on splitting of income. So whereas previous to 2019, it was possible to income split with one spouse, this has changed substantially especially with respect to professional corporations and the income they're generating from a service side. And where you income split in this perspective, you can find that your spouse is subjected to the highest marginal tax rate, which is not something that you want under no circumstance. The purpose of income splitting was designed so you avoid the doctors or physicians or dentists' high tax rate and use a lower tax rate. But with the TOSI rules, that has changed. So now you have to do innovative corporate structuring to achieve this. And that requires professionals who are knowledgeable in the field, be it lawyers or accountants or both, to engage with yourself and to find the appropriate systems and places where you can be tax compliant and thereby effectively keep your tax rates as low as possible. And this in turn increases the amount of profits or disposable income that you ultimately attain, as well as using it for retirement purposes and the like. So these are some of the concepts that you have to be aware of and the reasons that you need to go beyond a professional corporation and work with knowledgeable legal and accounting professionals to make those modifications to your structuring so that you're thinking beyond a professional corporation, which is effective. But because the government is always seeking to limit its use or limit its benefits and thereby increase their own tax revenues, you need to be one step ahead of them. And that's where we come in, and that's what you need to be doing to protect yourself and to protect the wealth you are looking to create. Thank you.